I spent hours, that's why this neck thing is going on, because I spent hours doing this for the last 3 or 4 days. Number one, he said of this formula, the 6-part formula, the world is the war of 2 opposite forces. This physical world that we're in, not the universe, not consciousness. The world that we are in, this physical presence here, which is, none of it is real. Muktananda said, that is real which never changes. So the only thing that's real is that which never changes. Everything else is an illusion, because as soon as you think that you got a hold of something and you look at it, it's something different. And you're different in every second that you're alive. So the only thing, like all of you look at your bodies and say, okay, it's whatever age it is this one happens to be 73. And I can remember there's a picture in my office right next door of me when I was in my 20s. And there's not one cell of that body that I can find left on this planet. Yet here I am. Because who I am is not that body that I occupy. It's mine, but it's not me. And so the only thing that is real is that which is changeless. And that excludes everything in the physical universe, that, as we know. Everything is changing, everything. It will all just... Jesus said that which materializes, dematerializes, that which shows up in form. And it's the spirit that gives life, and life returns to the spirit. And that's what quantum physics is finally beginning to teach us. They're catching up. They're telling us things scientifically that people like Jesus and Buddha spoke about all the time. It's the spirit that gives life. It's energy that gives life. It's the invisibleness that is life. So the world is at war. The world is the war of 2 opposite forces. And here are the 2 opposite forces in this world, not in the world beyond. Light and darkness. Light and darkness. And there's no permanence in this physical world. There's only movement. So your life is really just a movement. Which way are you moving? It's all love. Some of it is moving towards God, and some of it is moving away from love. Those who were doing the slaughtering in Rwanda, it was still love, moving away from God. Because love is the only universe, the only energy that there is. But you can take it and move it back towards your source. I used to use the image of a clock, and the hands on the clock. It was the 12, and we're born 12-12, when both the hour hand and the minute hand are both at 12. And then this hour hand starts moving, the minute hand starts moving around to 1, to 2, to 3, to 4, 5, 6, and it's now at 6. It's exactly the direct opposite of where you came into the world. All of this is movement away from your source. Came in as this perfect little being, like little Marcus in the back. Came in as this divine soul. And you're moving away from it. You're taking on the ego. Who I am. Oh, this is what these are my accomplishments. Oh, I'm better than you. Oh, I own more stuff than you. Oh, I won this. Oh, I'm number 1. Oh, up until you get as far away from your original self as you possibly can be when it's at the 6. And now, you start coming home. Now the minute hand starts going to the 7, and now you're coming back to the place from which you originated. And this is the side of the journey, where, because once you cross the 6, you can stay at the 6, and stay as far away from your original source as you possibly can. You can stay there. And a lot of people spend their entire lifetime in the exact opposite of what they came into. Well-being, love, consciousness, God, kindness, spirituality, all of it. And we get as far away from it as we can. And now we have a choice. But once you start heading back, there's no going back. This hand doesn't ever go back this way. It only goes this way. You're coming back home. You can be at 7, you can be at 8, you can be at 9, 10, 11, and the higher you go, and on the Hawkins scale, he measures this side of the clock as between 200 and 1,000. Up all the way down here is all of the hatred, all of the shame, all of the worry, all of the fear, and so on. And then you start coming home. And once you start coming home, it's like the duck hunter. Once he saw that, you know what happened? for me. It happened for me at the Whaler, which is just done. If you go out to the ocean and turn right, you'll see a beautiful pond. This is where we came every summer with all of our children, from the time that they were born, all of them. We spent every summer here on Maui. They have they have summer friends that would meet because they would all own the place. We would just rent them. We'd come the last day of school in June, and we would go back the day before Labor Day. We'd spend all of June, all of July, all of August here on Maui. And we would always rent the same place, Unit 173, on the ground. And I would play tennis out there every day. Played 3 or 4 or 5 sets of singles tennis. And one day I was in a tennis match. Never forget this. And I was playing a guy that I was considerably better than, talent-wise. You know, I knew I don't know that I'd ever even lost to him. But we used to have great matches and lots of fun and so on. And I won the first set 6-love, and I was up like 5-2 in the second set. And we changed sides of the court, water. And I noticed that on the ground, there was the green, for some reason, these little honeybees, or whatever they're attracted when they're dying. They're attracted, you see them along the beach too. You see these little bees, and when they can't fly anymore, for some reason, I guess it's just their time. And they come to the tennis court to die. I don't know what it is in the paint, the green, I don't know what it is, but you see it a lot. You see these little bees, and they're just barely able to move along. They can't fly. And I'm drinking my water and getting ready to go finish off this match. Win the next game, and it's done. And there was a little honeybee there, and it looked like it was struggling, and it looked like, you know, and I just looked at it just for a second, didn't think too much about it, this was many years ago, and I just said, oh, I'm going to put you out of your misery, you know, you're suffering anyway, and I just put the foot down and I squashed it. And I went back over to the other court. Then I lost the next set. I couldn't stop thinking about that bee, seriously, and that I had taken this life of this bee, and I thinking to myself, it's really not up to me to be taking something else's life. It's that's for higher powers than me, and I don't know, maybe he took that bee's dharma away from it, and it only had 2 minutes left to live, and that was going to be maybe its first bee orgasm or something. I don't know. It could be anything, right? And then I lost the next set, 6-love, because I couldn't stop thinking of it. And what really pissed me off